The Guilford Press, in association with Riverside Digital Productions, presents Bringing Words to Life, 2nd edition, Robust Vocabulary Instruction, by Isabel L. Beck, Margaret G. McCown, and Linda Kukin. Published by the Guilford Press, a division of Guilford Publications, Inc., audiobook copyright 2023. 2nd edition copyright 2013. Narrated by Mary Conway. Additional voices: Julie Campbell, Mariana Daly, Booth Daniels, Annie Falcone, Barbara Farraher, Isabella Minichello, Sean Rickard, Henry Spielberg, Layla Springer, Jacqueline Woolrith. Publisher's note: thank you for purchasing this Guilford Press audiobook. This title has supplemental material, which includes figures referenced in this audiobook, as well as the table of contents, references, and a study guide, among other resources. To download the PDF, go to the following URL: www.guilford.com/Beck-audiobook. Preface. Our editor called us more than a year ago to point out that Bringing Words to Life, BWTL, would soon be 10 years old. We suspected that he was telling us this because on several occasions he had hinted that it would soon be time for a 2nd edition. Each of us had different thoughts about the potential request. Isabel Beck mused that when her 9-year-old grandchild turned 10, the family wouldn't be thinking of a 2nd edition. Linda Kukin's thoughts left no question of where she stood. My students love the book. Why mess around with something that's working? Margaret McCown's reaction was, 10 years old? I have cheese in my refrigerator older than that. Another phone call from our editor confirmed what we had suspected. He wanted a 2nd edition. This time our thoughts were virtually identical. No. Of course we were more considerate than that and voiced our hesitations. No time, not on any of our agendas, and mostly, we didn't know why a 2nd edition was needed. Our editor astutely told us that a 2nd edition wasn't like writing a whole new book. Moreover, he made the point that he was not in any hurry and just hoped we would take some time to think about it. For a while, none of us gave our editor's request any thought. However, eventually, one of us pointed out to the others that it really wasn't fair. After all, we had said we would think about it. So we met as a group and decided to go through several chapters in order to evaluate them. That is, think about what we might change, eliminate, or add in the future to a new edition that we might want to do at the right time, but not now. So we started with Chapter 1 and did a kind of 2-step. Skim a chapter and talk about it. Skim a chapter and talk about it. More talking than skimming. And as we went along, we found things that we might change if we were doing a new edition of the book, which of course we were not. One of us mentioned that we were making some important points and offering some good ideas, and another said she would take good notes for a future edition. In Chapter 1, we were concerned that we had not offered more about learning words from context, especially when the Common Core State Standards have emphasized that. We thought that the nature of robust vocabulary instruction should be elaborated, since it was the keystone of the first BWTL and remains the keystone of our continuing research. As such, we wanted readers who were not familiar with robust vocabulary instruction to leave Chapter 1 knowing a little more about it than we had originally offered. Moreover, we talked about theory that was not available at the time of the 1st edition, and that we certainly would want to include in a 2nd edition. We also saw that too little information had been given directly about our 3-tier framework, and were we planning a new edition, which we were not, we would make the discussion of tiers more prominent. Our summary of Chapter 1 was that the topics we had covered were appropriate. A few needed to be elaborated, and there was a better way to organize it. And with that, each one of us would have been happy to get our hands into Chapter 1, but our lives were such that we just could not. We sampled several other chapters and saw lesser or greater things that should be included, elaborated, better explained, and the like. All of our discussion interested us. We were getting tempted, but we didn't want to act too rashly. That is, call our editor and say yes.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?